Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, hi, my name is Victoria and I'm here to share with you my passion about makeup and skincare. So if you still haven't joined my family, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you will be notified about my future videos. Also follow me on Instagram and I have a TikTok account with the same username. In today's video we're gonna review a holiday set from Tarte, and this set is quite exciting to be honest, because as soon as I saw it I'm like, yes please, I'll have to review this. I'll have to create 3 different looks because we are getting here 3 different palettes. I hope you guys are excited as well, because lately I don't know what's happening, but last year we had so many launches due to holidays. Like I remember having even House Labs eyeshadow that I still use till this day. It was a holiday edition. It's amazing. So many different brands were releasing eyeshadow palettes, and just in general holiday sets that were including new colors, new limited editions. Now I don't know what is happening. I'm checking different sites and I don't see much of the newness. I see a lot of like bundles, like get this together with this for cheaper price, but honestly I am not quite interested in bundles as much as I would be interested in some limited editions. I love some goodness like that. I love trying new holiday sets and see is it something worth your attention or your money, guys. I like doing that, but this year it's been quite simple, let's put it like that. So I'm very excited to get my hand on this set, and this is going to be Tarte the Golden Era Amazonian Clay Collector set that retails for $55. Supposedly they're giving you a great value of $336, but technically when you're looking at these palettes, I don't know how they counted, because $55 divided by 3, it's going to be like roughly 18.3. So one palette supposedly cost $18, and I do not understand how it can cost more, but maybe the formula is amazing. They do include here Amazonian clay, obviously, that's supposed to help with like longevity, the way how the shadows wear throughout the day. I was interested in trying this, but then when I got this in my hands and I started like unboxing, unpacking and filming like preview to this palette, I actually am super excited, just because I did not realize how stunning the packagings are. Supposedly the packaging is also recyclable and the formula is vegan and cruelty free. Also the palettes are made in Taiwan. They have 12 months of a shelf life, and technically we are getting here 8 sheets in every palette, so it's going to be 1.1 grams and multiplied by 24. So that's quite interesting to see. So we do have here 3 color stories. I'm gonna film this video for 3 days. Massively excited, super thrilled to play with those 3 palettes. I swatched all of the palettes. I'm gonna show them to you as we go. I haven't played with Tarte eyeshadows for a very long time. Their shadow formula was something that I wasn't super interested in, but now when I'm looking at the color story, I'm looking at the pigmentation and the swatches, I'm quite excited. And I do wanna start from this palette that's called Bejeweled. The reason why I want to choose this one over the other ones, because there's 2 color stories that are super wearable, so I can wear them before I go to work. This one has some pop of the color, so I do want to see how it's gonna look. I'm not quite sure how it's gonna work for us, but that's why I'm kind of like playing with this specific color story while I'm here and while I'm having my day off. Bejeweled supposed to be eyeshadow palette on the go, like they described this. I'm excited, and let's just dive right into this, because I'm really hoping that this can be a good addition to either your eyeshadow selection, or it can be a good gift for somebody who will enjoy like good pop of the shimmer and hopefully very good solid matte. So I do want to start this look by using matte, and we are gonna play with, see, this color story is quite dark, so that's what kind of like made me think about this twice. I think I'm gonna start, there is like a cooler tone here and warmer tone here. I think I'm gonna start from the warmer tone, and the name of this color is Statement Piece. So Statement Piece is gonna be our first shade that we're gonna play with. I am gonna grab fluffy brush and let's try to build this shade on the, I'm thinking maybe let's go all over the eyelid and just see how the finish is, how the formula is. I like to go kind of like very slow and kind of build the color as we go, but I dipped my brush into the shade quite intensively, not on purpose, but that's what's happened, and I'm really hoping that it's not gonna give us a hard time with blending. Meanwhile, when I'm doing this, I do want to show you the swatches of this palette, because they're incredible. The packaging is incredible, even though it's a plastic, and it has a mirror, guys. If you're wondering, is there a mirror? I didn't peel the protective layer, but that the thing about this whole packaging, it has this golden gorgeous vibe, and it is plastic, but it does look quite gorgeous and it does look very festive. So it gives you a luxurious look, which that's what we need if we're giving a gift to somebody and you know it's a holiday season, because I feel like mostly we're shopping for somebody this season, so that could possibly be a good addition to our shopping options. So far it's quite pigmented. I am trying to blend this all over the eyelid. I'm going far high up and I'm just not holding myself together with this color, to be honest, because I'm in my safe space right now and I can play with whatever shades I want and whatever intensity I want. Before filming 2 other videos, I do want to mention to you guys how this specific color story was wearing throughout the day. So this whole 3 days of filming will really help me, and hopefully guys it will help you to, you know, determine is it something worth your attention and worth your money. I am building the shades. I'm not gonna lie, Tarte formula is not bad formula. It's not amazing, but honestly it's such a solid formula, and that's why a lot of people still till this day prefer them over other like new brands that coming out with new palettes. And I've seen even a review that was saying that this formula is better than Makeup by Mario new ethereal palette. But the thing about Makeup by Mario, it's getting a lot of hype no matter what. The team who supports Tarte is definitely a big team and very, you know, solid team, but Makeup by Mario eyeshadow formula is very different, so I don't think it's quite comparable considering how different the formula is and even the color story is in general. Then I'm gonna go with this shade, this cooler tone that's called Solitaire, and this shade I'm gonna kind of like smudge at the outer portion as well. I'm not gonna switch my brushes because we are not doing anything different in this situation. We're just building the intensity, and I'm going with my circular motions around my outer portion on the top eyelid and just slowly rolling all this color throughout my crease area and just going back and forth. So far it's not giving me any trouble. It's blending very nicely and smoothly, so I mean I'm happy with what I'm getting and where I'm going right now. Then I'm gonna go with this shade that's called Sultry. This one. This is very deep and it's warm. So what's interesting is that in this color story we have 2 cool tones here and they kind of like separated, and 2 warm tones. So you kind of, if you want to go like either way with one palette, you can either play with this 3 and 4 or this 4 shades. It's very versatile actually when I'm looking at this, but we are combining everything together today just for the sake of trying different colors and combining as many shades as possible. I do want to show you the final look after, you know, using as many shades as I can. And ooh, so I grabbed more thick brush and I'm packing the color at the other portion, and it's very pigmented. Ooh, it's super pigmented. I'm trying to be very careful and kind of like blending this to give it a good look without being super overkill, but I do like this intensity. I do like when it's like smoky. I really miss this look, even though I'm trying new color stories all the time when I'm going to work. So far I'm just not doing super intense looks, but I am playing with colors all the time and it's been working out well. And like you see, I'm concentrating all my attention on the outer portion, on the crease area. The thing about this whole situation, I'm realizing this right now, I don't see a lot of fallouts as of this time, but maybe it's better to kind of like leave your base not done and then, you know, do all your foundation and all the complexion products after actually doing all of this stuff, because technically I'm not really sure how it's gonna work out. But hey, we're playing dangerous games here. I love dangerous games. Next, I do want to play with shade that's called Facet. This one, I'm using the same brush and I'm gonna just add this like cooler tone to the pack that we already stacked together, just to give that like versatile look in a way, and also a good blend. And what I want to do, I do really wanna play with my lower lash line as well. I'm gonna start from the color that's called Solitaire. This one, it's a cool tone, and I want to do my whole lower lash with cool tone colors just because I feel like that with whole warm color story on the top, even with a blend of cool tones. It's still showing off very warm, and I just want to kind of like balance it in a way. And then I'm gonna finish with the color that's called Facet, this one. And this shade I'm applying mostly on the outer portion. I'm kind of just buffing this towards the center. It's time, guys. It's time to play with those shimmers. They look incredible, honestly, and I feel like I do want to play with this shade and this one called Diamond Figures. This looks incredible, at least on my finger. Like, this is chunky, this is definitely very opaque, and it has a good base, good tone. So I'm kind of like applying this. You know what? This looks incredible, and I don't even want to apply anything else. I'm gonna be very mad, guys, if I'm not gonna use many shimmers, because I feel like every little shimmer by itself just looks incredible. And I mean, look at that. This looks quite intense and quite pretty, and you don't have to dip your finger too much into the shade because it has good color base. Definitely looks very festive, definitely looks good for holiday season, and honestly, just, you know, if you want to add some pop of the color on your everyday life, it also looks incredible. Okay, please don't hate me. Please, I'm begging you, don't hate me, but I am going to use just one more color, and I'm sure you know which one is that. It's going to be the lightest one, because I feel like this color by itself is just incredible. Let's try to add teeny tiny amount of this warm one that's called Jam. I'm gonna just be very light on this color, and I'm gonna just add this kind of like lightly on the top. It's cute, and you can definitely see that as well. I just feel like that color was just so cute by itself that I didn't want to even mix it with anything else. Very pretty. It's not like duochrome, it's like a shimmer mostly. It's a very solid, lovely shimmer that's gonna give you good intensity right away, and it looks stunning on the eyes. And I'm thinking I'm gonna use this shade as well. This is it's sparkly, but it looks almost like satiny in a way. So I want to be very careful and very lightly buff it at the outer portion like that. Yeah, that's quite pretty. It's very opaque and it's not as shimmery. It has a very strong base to this, so it's definitely something that you can blend as just a regular color to give the intensity to your look, but it actually works with our look quite nicely. Okay. And then my favorite color that I want to try, actually I don't know which color is my favorite, but I know I'm going to enjoy this one. This one is Opal, and the Opal we're going to apply with a damp brush, and we're going to highlight our inner corners and also kind of like drag this towards this whole area to open our actual eye even more. Wow, this is incredible. This color is incredible. Wow, it's so pretty. And I'm kind of like adding another colors and trying to blend this whole thing together. I don't want it to look rough or something. Wow, this almost gives like a wet look, to the point that, I mean, I don't know, will camera catch this, but it just looks incredibly beautiful. Okay guys, I'm actually quite obsessed with the way everything looks, and I'm not even gonna hold it back because I really like how it's coming out. Honestly, I don't even know, do I want to do wings? I think I don't, but I do want to add mascara, and I think I want to add some gel liner, maybe brown liner. Let me see what I can do. We could have done even blue mascara, but I don't think I'm in the mood for blue mascara today. Oh, why don't we use a purple liner? I think it will add a little bit of something to this look. So I'm just basically applying purple liner to the waterline. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna look quite cute. Okay, I actually quite enjoy the way how everything looks. I know it's quite smoky for every day, just because it's a daytime, I don't want to do any liner. But if you add lashes, and if you add, let's say, liquid liner and some wings, it will give you more like that evening time look, even though it does look kind of like evening look for now as well. But now I do want to tell you that I did get some fallouts, and I'm just gonna tell you guys that those shimmers have some fallouts that quite crucial. Okay, my love, so I added some mascara, and honestly I went around and cleaned a little bit this whole situation to give it a little smoother look. But overall, when I'm looking at the eye look we created, it gives me a lot of joy, just because I feel like everything came out good, and I feel like the colors stay very nicely, and the color look very nice and opaque. Had no issues with blending those shades. I definitely could see myself myself using this palette again, and not even one time. I feel like I forgot how this chunky shimmers work, because this is very different formula from what I'm using right now. Lately I've been using very light shimmers that have no base, basically no base color, or have very light base color, but this is very like solid formula that I see myself reaching for, which oddly enough wasn't something I was, anticipating when I was playing with this palette and when I chose this palette to play with for my day one. But overall, I do want you to take a look at this eye look and tell me guys what you think. We have two more looks, two more shadow palettes to play with, but this is the shadow palette and this is the look we created. So many possibilities, so many versions of different eye looks you can create by using those shades. It's incredible, and I do really appreciate that two different tones are combined in this palette, so you can play with whichever one fits you better. So here's the look one, and I am excited to play with the next palette. So let's jump into the second day. Hi loves, it's officially day 2, and today we're gonna play with another palette from this gorgeous collection from Tarte. And I just want to tell you right before jumping into the new palette that I was wearing the previous one for another day. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film the day 2, but honestly it was a really simple look that I just wanted to create before going to work when I had a very early shift. So it was wearing quite nicely. I mean, for the holiday edition it was really solid formula and good wear test. It's not that, amazing formula that you can get from palettes by themselves, because they do need to make this formula more affordable, and also most of the brands make their holiday limited editions either a little less exciting, or maybe the formula is not performing as good as their regular palettes. But in this case, I feel like Tarte did a good job. I was reaching out for that palette, so that's quite impressive. And in today's video, right before going to work, I do want to play with another palette, and this one is going to be Elegance. So supposedly it's a good palette for like a date night, but we're gonna create another look for work since I'm just working these days and it's been crazy. So I do want to jump right into creating an eye look, and I'm thinking we're gonna start most likely from this shade over here that's called Pumper, this one. This shade looks like something that's going to be good for just cleaning out the discolorations from our eyelids and evening out the whole color scheme of our natural skin, if you can call it like that, because we do have a lot of discolorations on our eyes and on the skin in general, and this is completely normal. It just, if you want to hide it or color it, this is a good first shade that works as a canvas, and also it works as a first step in your eye makeup, which is always a good thing. So I'm just blending this all over, and I'm not gonna create any crazy look, but I do want to again use as many colors as possible just to show you guys how everything's performing, obviously to make it very obvious for you. Is it something good or bad? Like, I may even say that this is a bad palette, but you're gonna look at the performance and you're gonna think that, hey, this is actually what I need in my life. So I did my part, even though I didn't like it, for example. I still showed you that in your case, in your lifestyle, this palette can fit you perfectly. But in this case, I'm quite liking it, so far so good. But this color I want to be second one. It's a Hail Room. It's such a gorgeous color, and it has beautiful base, and it's definitely more like a pinky peachy shade. Very, I would say, very pretty color in general, and I just want it to be the color of our base. Now I can actually stack two colors together. So I'm just buffing this basically all over my eyelid and making sure that it's blending very easily without patches. And so far, based on this color being so lightweight and gorgeous, I feel like this is definitely the shade that you can use for like monochromatic look. And obviously you can use this color as a blush as well. I can see this happening because it's powdery enough to blend, kind of like to diffuse this color onto your cheeks. Like, I feel like this may actually work out. I should have probably thought about this before, because that's the color I'm usually reaching for my pale skin. So yeah, definitely a good point in case you're into monochromatic looks. The same shade I'm gonna diffuse on my lower lash as well, just very lightweight touch to our lower lash line. Next, I'm gonna check out this color. This one is Glamour. It does look a little more intense. It does look like it has some base to it, which what we need right now. I'm still using the same brush, guys, and I feel like this is quite normal considering that those colors go into each other so nicely. And now I'm trying to actually diffuse the shade, concentrating this again on the outer portion, just using basically windshield wiper motions, and actually loving every moment of this because it does go so nicely into the skin and into the other colors, so I'm quite loving the process. Next I'm gonna add a little bit of this shade, very deep color that's called Silhouette. And you know, guys, I'm realizing this color is not as crazy and intimidating as it is in a palette, so I'm really like packing this on my outer portion. Okay, so I'm having a little more difficulties with this shade obviously than with other ones because of the color being so deep, but I mean, with some extra blending job I'm getting this to work. Next, I really want to use this shade, and this one is Precious. This looks absolutely breathtaking, honestly, because it has a pink undertone. This looks absolutely stunning because it can definitely be very muted but still adds something very nice and very like complement the matte colors we have, and I feel like that's what it's doing. I'm literally concentrating my attention on the middle of my eyelid and dragging this a little bit towards the outer portion, and I think it's looking very nicely. So this palette was the palette that wasn't super sparkly, and when I was swatching this it didn't give me as crazy shimmers, but I really liked it because, like it said in the description, it's a good palette for night out, so it's definitely something more subtle but still chic, to the point that you can use this for multiple occasions and don't look like you tried too much. So then I want to use this shade, this one called Starlet. This one looks like a pop of the color, and I feel like I think we will appreciate this color. And I'm gonna apply just a little bit of the shade at the center just to add a little bit of the pop. Yeah, that's looking quite cute. Just a little bit. That's actually super pretty. And then I'm gonna use the shade that I'm the most excited about, obviously, guys. And this is gonna be the first shade, and this one is Elegance. Elegance, that's the color that's gonna definitely be the craziest from this color story because it's gonna add the biggest amount of shine to this look, and I'm obviously applying this to the inner portion and kind of like pressing this closer to the center. It's opening the eye, it's definitely working the way how I thought it would, and I don't want it to be too overpowering, so I'm trying to kind of like soften this up by applying a little bit, but obviously we'll highlight our inner corners and let this color shine. Next, I do want to apply a little bit of this deep color that we used for our outer portion, that's called Silhouette, this one for our lower lash line. I'm gonna be just exaggerating this outer portion, or basically just, you know, showing that this top lash line goes into the lower lash line very nicely. I don't want it to be too crazy, and I'm purposely avoiding any crazy pops of the color because I want it to be very variable and effortless. I got a little bit of fallouts, but not too bad. So now what I want to do, I want to clean out the outer corners of this eye look. I'm usually using like bigger fluffy brush, and I'm just going over with that brush. I don't want it to be super rough in the edges. Also, you can use that first or second color we use to soften up the corners. Honestly, I feel like that would be a good idea as well, just to add some like light shade to kind of make the whole corners look more blended, and that's a good thing to do. Always a good idea. Next, I want to add some liquid liner. I'm using Stila today, and I'm just gonna do little wings. I feel like wings is a good touch for night makeup as well. I mean, lashes could be good too, but it depends like what type of night out it is, you know what I mean? If you're going with your friend somewhere, wings will be necessary. A lot of things depend on your outfit and the occasion, like we know that. Okay guys, next I feel like I'm gonna highlight my inner corners and add some mascara because I don't want to add anything else. It feels like such a lovely completed look, honestly. I don't want to go crazy just because I'm going to work as well, and I feel like we tried a lot of colors and I quite enjoyed their performance. The only shade we haven't tried is this one, but in this case, in my scenario, it would be definitely not a good idea to use this shade because it's definitely a different tone. I'm not quite sure. I think what would be good to do is to combine these shades with this ones, and then this would pop a lot and it would cool down the look, which is quite lovely. But as for now, I want to highlight my inner corners and add some mascara. For highlighting my inner corners, obviously I'm using that gorgeous shade that we just used, and I'm using my damp brush like always, and I feel like it's looking quite lovely. It's definitely a good color story for me because I'm usually reaching for these shades on my daily basis. I like those mauve colors. I like when they go together nicely and easily. Definitely good selection of shades for like everyday use. Very lovely. And then I'm gonna use my mascara, and today I'm gonna use my YSL Lash Clash mascara. This mascara is so good. It's definitely still too wet, but it's so easy in application and it gives you gorgeous lashes. Okay, my loves, here's the final look that we created with this palette, and I feel like everything came out quite nicely. This is definitely muted version of this whole holiday trio. I would definitely use these shades again. I'm thinking that probably this shade over here gave me the biggest amount of fallout, so I'll try to use this probably with my brush just to make sure I'm not doing crazy under eye after work, because I had to powder a lot after work. And I feel like this is definitely gonna find its person just because the shades are so different from the other ones that we have on this selection. I liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. I created a wearable look for my job and I feel like everything came out good and I'm quite excited. But don't forget to tell me what do you think about this color story and how do you like this look, and I'll see you guys in a day 3. Welcome to the third day of filming. I chose today again red lip just because I feel like this color story that we're gonna try today, we're gonna play today with, it's gonna be something that's gonna get complemented by red lip, because look at this color story. It's incredible, looks very lovely. Definitely the palette that I can see myself reaching for on a daily basis. The shades are incredible. The name of the palette is Gilded. This one is supposed to be a good palette for luxurious looks, how they call it. So you see a lot of golden tones, you see very nice, I would say it's mostly warm tone palette. You can look at this shade as a like cooler warm, but at this point it doesn't make a big difference in eye look. So I'm very excited, guys. I hope you're excited as well. I just want to say like 2 words basically about yesterday's wear test. So what I've noticed is that multiple shades layered on the top of each other will give you fallouts, A, and B, if you're layering them carefully. The way how they blend to each other, especially shimmers, it's amazing. Because when I used this shade, I used a little bit of this one on top of this one and then this one on top of this one and made them kind of like transition into each other. The way how these two combined together, first of all, they opened my eye fully because it was almost like gradually getting deeper while we were going to the outer portion of the eyelid. It was incredibly beautifully blended and looking very nice and very, I would say, good for going out or even going to work, because yesterday I was working and I purposely didn't use a lot of black liner. Today we are gonna use black liner for the waterline, the gel liner, but I purposely didn't do this yesterday because I was playing with a lot of like mauve tones and red lip, so I wanted to be a little different but still get that look together, keep everything together without going crazy. So this was really nice. I actually really liked it. I just want you to be aware of the fallouts. If you're not working carefully, I usually use my finger. You know me, guys, I use my finger. That's why I know that it's not as precise as a brush. When you're using a damp brush, you may get less fallouts because you're working more carefully, but I just want to use the palettes the way how I'm gonna use them in the future, knowing myself and knowing how I'm getting ready for going out or going to work. No matter where I'm going, it's always the same scheme, the same kind of vibe. I use my fingers for shimmers mostly, and that's the thing I wanted to try. I wanted just to be real with you guys and with myself as well. So I do want to start this eye look. Obviously everything is ready, my makeup is ready again. I know that I'm anticipating fallout, so we're gonna play with more powder underneath our eyes today, but I want to start from this shade, obviously this one, and the name of the shade is Elevate. I'm gonna drink a lot of juice today because I have such a long day ahead of me. I mean, I'm excited. It's long working day and then after that I have plans, so it's just something that I have to keep myself together, and I feel like juice will help me, and then coffee, and then another coffee obviously. But I'm just using basically fluffy brush, but for this type of colors I like to use brush that a little squeezed from the side, so the fact that it's still fluffy but it gives me ability to kind of like press the color as well. And this color is not difficult at all, it's just something to, you know, blend all over and, you know, create a canvas like always. I had difficulties yesterday with my eye with the right one. The problem that happened is just because I'm taking care of a cat. I love cats, guys, and I love dogs, and I'm allergic to both of them, so it's something that I just have to live with. But my eye wasn't dealing with this very well yesterday, so I woke up like with a puffy eye and I had to use drops, and I feel like it got better, but still, like, if you see something going on there, it's definitely there's a reason for that. Then I'm gonna use this shade, and this one called Fancy. This one, it looks very warm. It looks definitely something that I would use for any eye look at this point. And for this color I do want to use an actual fluffy brush. Should we do halo eye? I'm kind of trying to use shades the way how I would use them, and I'm usually going for one style, but I sometimes like to play with different intensities and, you know, the way how high up I go, how many colors I use. I just want to be real here, and I don't want to show you something that's most likely not going to happen after me trying that, but I do want to kind of like buff it all over the eyelid, and we'll try to leave the center of the eyelid cleaner. We'll see. Maybe we'll do halo eye, like very light and soft halo eye, or maybe not. I'm not sure yet, because if I'm gonna do wings, they will not complement the halo eye, the shape of this whole eye look. Next, I'm gonna use the same shade for our lower lash line as well. I'm just gonna buff this underneath to tie this look together, and it goes into the skin very nicely. It doesn't give me any hard time, so that's a good thing. That's definitely something you want to see when you're getting ready and you have not a lot of time, especially in the morning, you know, those sweet mornings when you're rushing. Okay, then I do have here one shade looks almost like cooler than the other. I feel like we could play with both of them, or we could do either or. I think I'm gonna use this shade for now. This one is Embellish. Yeah, the name of the shade is Embellish. I am gonna use the same brush I used for the previous color on the top lash line, and I'm just literally repeating the motions I did with the previous color. And this one is very intense, so I do want you guys to be ready for that. This might actually be enough. I don't know, should we do the other shade as well, because this is already very, very bold. And this one I'm gonna go a little closer to the center, trying to leave that space for halo eye effect. You don't get a lot of fallouts from mattes. I would say I barely get any fallouts from mattes, but shimmers, that's where all the tricky parts start. But guys, those shimmers are gorgeous, so I feel like if you will work carefully enough, you can get really nice eye look without actually making a mess. And then I think let's add this shade that's called Opulent, this one, to the eye look as well. Let's add this to the combo, and let's be really light-handed, because I feel like I do really enjoy playing with this cooler tone. Yeah, I guess that adds something different, a little different touch, warmer touch. And I'm doing exactly the same with this color, just trying to create a like nice blend. That's very deep. Oof. I need to soften this up a little bit, because I'm going to work, maybe we even will skip the liquid liner, because I feel like that's quite deep. It's more like a look for evening time. When I use this shade, I'm gonna grab clean, super fluffy brush and super dense brush, and by using this shade, I'm gonna soften out all of this situation that's happening around, and I'm just gonna make sure that there are no harsh lines, that everything looks great and blended. And this shade actually will help a lot, because it will still blend the color and add the color, so it should look very nice and soft. And I want to use another brush. It's from ColourPop. It's like a little version of this. It's a pencil brush, and I'm just gonna go around with inner portion just to be a little more precise, because I feel like this has to be cleaned out a little more, but I don't want to fully get rid of the color. I just want it to be a little softer looking. Okay, now let's play with shimmers, and I have here a selection of gorgeous shimmers, and I'm kind of thinking, what should I do? I think I'm gonna start from the shade actually that's called 24K, like a gold. Should we do the brush? I think let's do the brush. Why not, right? So I'm gonna just spray some setting spray on my brush, and I'm using a flat brush, just regular flat brush, and let's try to pack this shade at the center of our eyelid. I could have used also some concealer, but I feel like I want it a little bit softer. With concealer it would look very like nighttime eye look. Oh, that is so pretty. Be a little more careful than I usually am with my finger, so it will add a little bit more precision. It is quite lovely. And what I want to do next is I want to add a little bit of the other shade, this one that's called Gilded, this one. I want to add a little bit of the shade on the top. I'm going to use another brush. Again, I'm going to spray some setting spray on it and use the shade as a topper. Ooh, this one is like really stunning. I mean, they both are gorgeous. This one has a little bit more of the like show-stopping effect, if you know what I mean. Oh, so pretty. The way you have the layering, it's also like stunning. Wow, I really like it. And why don't we highlight our inner corners with the shade that's called Top Tier. It's a stunning color that I feel like is gonna help us to tie this whole look together. And I'm just adding a... Ooh! This is like Ice Queen color. I also think, guys, that I want to add this shade that's called Embellish to the lower lash line as well, at least to the outer portion, because I feel like it needs a little bit more of the color since the whole look is getting quite crazy looking, but in a good way, okay? Just very deep, very obvious. This shade actually does look really good in the lower lash line and blends so easily. Yes, I like it. I think I like it. So what do you think, guys? Should we do wings or no? Let's add some gel liner to the waterline. It's a black color, and let's see, do we actually need wings? Because the shape of the halo eye is quite different. When we'll do wings, it's gonna kind of prolong our eye. The halo eye by itself, what it does, it makes your eye a little more rounded. I mean, visually, obviously. So why don't we use some gel liner and see how it goes? And I'm doing just a waterline. Honestly, guys, I don't think I want to do wings. I feel like this has enough of everything, so maybe we should skip wings for today. I hope you guys agree with me because I just did this. I obviously can't communicate with you. It would be actually really helpful, but why don't we use mascara and see how everything looks. Okay, my love, so my eye look is ready and I'm actually very excited with the way how it turned out to be. Like, I'm excited to show it to the world, basically to go out with this. I feel like this palette was very wearable, very easy to blend, and I had way less fallouts by using brush instead of my fingers. So I knew that and I told you guys that before, but this is something for you to just keep in mind. If you just like me like using your fingers for shimmers, maybe be a little more careful and precise, which I wasn't that way those previous 2 times, or just use a brush. And when we're talking about those 3 palettes, I feel like this is a really good deal. I cannot believe I'm saying this. First of all, starting from the packaging and up to the formula, up to the versatility, I feel like this can be a great gift for somebody. Or if you actually really like it, I would even wait. I don't know, will it be sold out fully, but I would wait after the holiday season because they usually go on sale, at least it's a Sephora site, and you can get actually even better deal on them. I'm not quite sure will they be able to survive the holiday because it's a deal. It's not the deal that they showing you, like this is definitely not $336 value, but for what you're paying, you're getting 3 very lovely color stories, very lovely eyeshadow palettes, and based on the Tarte description, they say that those all shades are unique shades for them. And for $18 per palette, I mean, it's still expensive, but nowadays prices show that this is actually a deal. Believe it or not, you can also buy this set and gift, like leave 1 palette for yourself and gift the other ones for your friends, family members, anybody. So I'm super happy that I picked this up. Honestly, I didn't have high expectations, but I completely changed my mind, and I hope you guys, I helped you to discover something new for yourself, or maybe to have another option as a gift for somebody, which is always a good thing, especially in this holiday gifting season. So yeah, don't forget to leave me your thoughts down below and let me know what do you think about this whole holiday set from Tarte. Would you pick this up? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What look was your favorite? Tell me everything you think. Tell me everything you want to share with about this whole set and about your holiday gifting ideas. I'd love to know your opinion, guys. I'd love to read your comments, guys, and it's always inspiring me to hear what you think and to hear, guys, what actually your experience with this formula if you've tried this before. And like always, let's learn new Ukrainian word, and today I decided to tell you how to say a mouth in Ukrainian. So if you want to say mouth in Ukrainian, you would say it like rot, rot, rot. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for staying till the end of this video. I love you all very much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.